From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
We'll hear from Laurel residents about the passage of a bond to build a new elementary school.
If it's going to be an improved school, I guess it'll be okay.
Plus, the Billings business is serving unique drinks that originated in the Pacific Islands.
Fiji, Tonga, Hawaii. It's a ceremonial drink over there.
And we have new details on the Berries Cherries Carnival shooting. Good morning and welcome to Montana This Morning on this Thursday, May 4th. I'm Augusta McDonald. Thank you so much for being with us. We begin in Hysham, where frustration is overflowing. The town's water treatment plant still dripping with problems 6 months after implementing a boil advisory. A 90-day plan to fix these issues has apparently washed away. Now Hysham's mayor is buying all of the bottled water he can just to keep Hysham afloat. Q2's Haley Monaco has more.
Another sign has been added to the Hysham Town Hall's door regarding water, this time a do not drink the water warning and telling residents to only drink bottled water. This is what a town without drinkable water looks like. A reality in Hysham, as residents were informed Tuesday that they should not consume the drinking water or even use it to brush their teeth.
Do not use water for drinking, making ice, washing dishes.
No, I'm really concerned is if we can't even brush our teeth with that water, I feel like I'm in a third world country. I really do. And we're number one, or we're supposed to be.
75-year-old Julio Morales only found out about the warning through MTN, but residents of the small town are used to water troubles. They've been dealing with a boil advisory for months, and problems at the water treatment plant first began more than a year ago.
Here we go again. Same old stuff, different day. Same old crap, different day. And it's sad.
After the water treatment plant experienced a loss of filtration treatment Monday, the concern now is that various chemicals and bacteria contaminated the water.
There's a communication between all parties involved, between the state and the engineers and everything, so hopefully here within the next few days we'll have what we need to move forward, buy the parts and everything like that.
Water plant operator Roy Long spent his day Wednesday handing out bottled water, while Hysham's mayor was in Billings buying a lot more of it from Sam's Club.
Now it looks like we might have to declare a state of an emergency.
And it's a problem everyone in Hysham is tired of dealing with.
I thought this would have been taken care of months ago, but that's the way the government goes.
Something has to be done. We're getting sick, can't drink the water. Everybody gets sick around here because of it. And the smell is horrible.
In Hysham, Haley Monaco, MTN News.
Thank you, Haley, for heading out there and following that story. Big issue out in Hysham. We'll continue following that. Good morning, Miller.
Well, good morning, Augusta, and good morning, everybody. So another nice day yesterday.
Yeah, it was a great day.
Yeah, it didn't hit 80 again. We were just coming shy of that.
Almost.
Still warmer
Not
than
quite.
average. Still warm. You know, we're going to have one more chance today.
Could today be the day?
Could be the day, but that's going to be it. We've got storm system coming in that's going to cool us down. Still going to be above average, I think, with our highs and lows across the weekend. But if we're going to hit 80, today's going to be our last chance for a while. Now, yesterday we came close again. Another day we hit 79. So a good, 17 degrees above the norm. Look at the overnight low down to 53, well above average of that 39. And we're seeing that again this morning. Top gusts yesterday of 20 miles an hour, a bit breezy at times. Could still feel those gusts today. It's been a dry start to May. For the year, we're almost a half an inch in the hole, but we do have that system coming out of the southwest that could deliver a good bit of moisture to the area and could bring a lot of snow to the mountains too. And we'll tell you all about that coming up with the main forecast. 51 right now at the airport. Winds out of the southwest at about 3 miles an hour across the area. We've got temperatures in the 40s and 50s, so a mild start all across for the most part. Highs today in the 70s and some 80s. But then you start to see that moisture moving in tonight, starting to cool us down tomorrow. Not severe weather, but maybe a few strong thunderstorms are possible in the future. We'll take a look at that coming up here in just a bit.
All righty, Miller, thank you so much.
Okay.
And new this morning, the United States and Mexico reached an agreement to address the expected spike in people flocking to the southern border. With the pandemic-era immigration policy expiring next week, one Texas mayor is already declaring a state of emergency. CBS's Jared Hill has more.
In the city of El Paso, Texas, migrants on the street go on for blocks and blocks.
We're focusing on women and children mainly. The need is overwhelming.
And that need could become even greater when Title 42, a pandemic-era policy that allows the U.S. government to expel migrants, expires on May 11th. El Paso's mayor has already declared a state of emergency as Customs and Border Patrol officials say as many as 10,000 migrants a day could cross the southern border, nearly doubling the daily average in March.
We are doing everything that we can to put programs, to put processes in place to deal with what will occur at the border.
Part of that, a new agreement where Mexico will accept non-Mexican migrants expelled from the U.S., while the U.S. takes in up to 100,000 individuals from Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador who have family here in the States. As the crisis at the border balloons, Wednesday, buses carrying migrants from Texas arrived in New York City, part of a controversial initiative by Republican Governor Greg Abbott to send migrants to cities run by Democrats.
Our infrastructure is completely strained, and we cannot do this alone without the intervention from the federal and state governments.
New York City officials say they've converted more than 120 hotels into emergency shelters to accommodate, but the pace is unsustainable. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
About 1,500 U.S. troops will also be deployed to the border for 90 days. And today, the White House is announcing new actions promoting so-called responsible artificial intelligence innovation. The Biden administration is investing $140 million into AI research and development. It directs the Office of Management and Budget to issue policy guidance on AI use by the federal government. The announcement also says major companies that develop AI, like Google, Microsoft, and OpenAI, will participate in a public evaluation of artificial intelligence systems. Next month will mark 1 year since floodwaters ravaged Red Lodge. Sherry Weimer was instrumental in rallying resources during this disaster, and now her efforts will be remembered forever. Representative Matt Rosendale entered her name into the congressional record. The congressman made a visit to Red Lodge to celebrate Shelley and everyone else stepping up to restore their town.
She's a leader. There you go. And leaders, what they do is they figure out what needs to be done, and they put a plan in place on how to execute it. And that's exactly what she is.
I'm all about getting the businesses back to work. They need to be back in business, and the employees need their jobs. And that was my focus, was we have to move on and keep our town moving.
Crews are still working extremely hard in Red Lodge. There's a rush to repair roads, riverbanks, and even reroute Rock Creek as it begins rising this spring. And we're learning new details on the Berries Cherries Carnival shooting, including the name of the person who was killed. The county coroner says 20-year-old Kian Manuel Banderas died from a gunshot wound to the neck. We're also hearing a new witness account of that incident. They say Banderas was leaving the premise in a car and was chased down by a group of teens wearing masks. Police initially identified a person of interest as a 14-year-old boy, but as of now, no arrests have been made. It's the story of the week in Laurel. Voters approving a bond this week to build a brand new elementary school. And this morning, parents and former students are sharing their thoughts on these upcoming changes. Here's Q2's David J.
With the elementary school bond passing, the proposed plans will go ahead, including the 3rd through 5th grade elementary school across from the middle school. Some in the neighborhood are concerned about the higher taxes, while others are happy that there will be a new building. Some of these T-ball players will be students in the Laurel Public Schools. Part of the plan is to build a new elementary school up the road from the ball fields and across from the middle school.
The whole getting rid of graph, if they're going to replace it, I mean, if it's going to be an improved school, I guess it'll be okay.
Melissa Munguia's son will soon attend elementary school. Her older son will soon be in high school and was a student at Graff Elementary School.
The library got all flooded and such, and then you could go outside and then there'd be this gigantic puddle after it rained at the swing, and no one would be able to walk over there.
The $57 million elementary school bond will allow for the tearing down of Graff and putting sports fields in its place and some of the nearby land. West Elementary will be remodeled for pre-kindergarten through 2nd grade, and the new elementary school will be for 3rd through 5th graders.
It's a relief, to be honest with you. We know the hard work really is to come, but the fact that there's some light at the end of that tunnel, frankly, it makes us feel pretty good.
The $31 million high school bond did not pass, which would have helped with career technical education and the gym.
We're just going to have to deal with the other shortfalls and then readdress that at a later date.
Torek says if the board decides to sell the administration building, that could bring in money to help the high school. And he respects that some did not support passing the bond.
We really need to spend the next couple of years just showing them that this was a smart decision.
The superintendent says the design team will have plans this summer, and he took a guess at the timeline. The construction could start next spring and be ready in the fall of 2025.
If it means that there's going to be a safe place where my kid can have, an education.
In Laurel, David J., MTN News.
And in Helena, Governor Greg Gianforte signed several abortion-restricting bills. The new laws include banning abortion when a fetus is determined viable, requiring the state to track complications due to medication abortions, and allowing medical providers to not participate in procedures they object to. Another says it would require providers to give life-saving care to infants born alive after an abortion. A similar measure was voted down by Montanans in 2022 through a ballot initiative. Governor Gianforte says one of the most important bills challenges a state Supreme Court ruling saying abortion is not protected under the Montana Constitution's right to privacy.
Last session, we passed common sense pro-life bills, and some have been tied up in the courts. But our commitment to do what's right for unborn babies, however, will never waver. And we have proven our commitment in defending life again this session.
It's likely these bills will face challenges in the courts. And a bill proposal to place more regulations on Kratom failed to pass during Montana's 68th legislative session. That's good news for the owners of Dakava House on 32nd Street here in Billings, who serve Kratom in their Thunder Tea. They tell us the products on their menu are different from the Kratom some legislators may have an issue with. Kratom sold in smoke shops is often chemically altered, which could make it dangerous.
When produced in these labs, they engineer it in a way that makes Kratom unnatural.
All of our Kratom actually comes right from an Indonesian farmer, gets tested there, but then also gets tested here in the States.
Dakava House specializes in kava. It's a mind-altering drink made from a plant native to places like Fiji, Tonga, and Hawaii. There are some concerns about kava too. It's proven to be addictive and was banned in Europe in the early 2000s amid concerns it could cause liver problems.